What is good? I mean, what is really good, my people? It is your UK Trotter brother, Dr. Blake, the darkest man around, and I'm here with Rhymestyle. Say hello to the people, man.
Hello to the people.
And today I'm gonna be continuing the series that I did with Mark from Real to Real on animes that should be getting games. And today I'm here to talk to Rhymestyle about Hunter x Hunter. So, Rhymestyle, why do you think Hunter x Hunter should get a game? Like why would you want it?
Well, there's a lot of Yu Hakusho fans out there. A lot of Yu Hakusho fans, and I don't know if you know, but in the days of the PS2, we got a game called Dark Tournament, which was, I remember when I saw it coming out, I was so happy. I was like, yes, a Yu Hakusho game, and then I got it, and it was just awful. And literally 6 months later, or like a year later, Japan got another Yu Hakusho game, which was not like Dark Tournament at all. It was absolutely incredible. And the way that game worked with the visuals, it was just absolutely awesome. That game was called Yu Hakusho Forever. We never got that game in the rest of the world, and because of that, my heart broke. Well, fast forward to 2016 today, and I feel like that could happen again with Hunter x Hunter. But if they do it right, they can literally like take the characters, which has the most unique characters out of many anime out there, and create one of the most unique fighting games of all time. Whether it be fighting games or anime, adventure. Mostly, I would say fighting games would be fun. Like, if you take something similar to, I hate using this comparison, but like, imagine Hunter x Hunter in the format of like a Storm arena fighter, where it's 3D, you pick a character, every character has beautiful visuals. Like, just picture it for a second. Like, think about this. Fighting as the king against Netero, or, you know, playing as maybe even Gon versus Killua, or even doing those what-if battles that never happened in the series that I'm not going to get into because I don't want to spoil it to those who haven't watched it. There's so much potential for Hunter x Hunter to be such a great game. Now, the only thing that scares me is due to the fact that, number one, the previous Hunter x Hunter games were absolutely awful. There was a bunch that came out. There's a couple adventure games. None of them really get that good. So, if a Hunter x Hunter game comes back, my big fear is if it gets screwed up. Two, if a fighting game comes out, if it gets too dumbed down, because you know how like when it comes down to making new games, developers usually try to figure out what's a good medium for people. Usually the first couple games are going to be bad because the developers want to make sure that it's not too hard, not too easy. So the first game is going to scare me, and I think the first game will fail. But I feel like down the line, once they understand the audience better, what the Hunter x Hunter fan base wants, I think they can make honestly a really good game, like a really good game.
That'll actually be dope, because I know there was so many people saying, "Oh, dude, Hunter x Hunter needs a game." Everybody would welcome a Hunter x Hunter game, and like you said, like I swear the previous Hunter x Hunter games only came out in Japan. Like only J-Stars with like the Hunter x Hunter characters only came out over here. The rest were only Japan exclusive. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I don't know.
So. Like, who would you like to develop it? Like, who would you prefer to develop this game?
That's the challenge here, because based on who develops it, you know how the game's gonna work. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. If Spike made a game, Yu Hakusho, using the exact same engine that we saw in Burning Blood or even J-Stars, I will buy it just because I love the characters and I want to play as them. The only reason why I bought J-Stars and imported it the first time it came out in 2013 was because of Yu Hakusho characters. Again, same thing with Hunter x Hunter. If they make a Hunter x Hunter game using the exact same engine where it's really dumbed down, I will buy it solely because I love the characters. Now, going back into Burning Blood, let's talk about that for a second. Because I saw a lot of the community is up in arms about Burning Blood, whether or not it's going to be a good game or whatever. A lot of people are like split because it seems so much like J-Stars. End of the day, I don't give a shit. I love the characters. It's like these games are fun because of the characters, because of the series that you love. So they could literally remake J-Stars using Hunter x Hunter characters or Yu Hakusho characters or any characters of my favorite anime, and I will buy it and I will love it. I will enjoy it for that short period until I get bored of it and want something else. So ultimately, it's tough for the first game, like I said, but for the first game, I also don't have a high expectation to the point where I want it to be the perfect game, but it's not going to be the perfect game. So, if CC2 makes it, I feel like they can at least make the visuals beautiful. Like, you can't deny the visuals don't look great in Storm games. Like, that's the reason why Storm games are so freaking good. Now, Spike makes games very user-friendly, but at the same time, you get to the point where it gets so boring after some time, after a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. So there's always gonna be a challenge with based on who makes it. If Dims makes the game, again, the challenge is can they do it right? So I don't have really a preference, honestly. I just want to play as my favorite characters. I want to play as the king. I want to be able to play as the king and fight the other characters, fights that we've never seen. I want to play as Hisoka. I want to fight Chrollo, you know? So I don't really have a preference.
Yeah. Wait, do you think like if they were to get a Hunter x Hunter game, would it bring more people into the series, or like you should watch the series first then play the game, or would it matter vice versa? Like, if you know what I mean?
I don't think it will help build the community around it much more than it already has. Because what I noticed with Togashi stuff, all his series have been really, really popular for a long time. You know, from Yu Yu Hakusho to Hunter x Hunter to other stuff he did in between. His stuff has always been popular, but it's never been to the point where every single person knows it. Like, everybody knows Hunter x Hunter, but not everybody's watched it. And what I feel like what's going to happen now is we're going to be in a good position where Hunter x Hunter is getting dubbed. It's going to come out this year in English. It was dubbed before in the past, but it didn't do as well just because it ended so early. It just ended abruptly as well because of Togashi's hiatuses. So, because right now we're getting to a position where, number one, the manga's coming back on April 18th, which I'm excited about, and two, we're getting a dub, I think Hunter x Hunter can grow much bigger on a global scale than what it is, you know, in Japan. In Japan, it's huge, but like outside of Japan, not that many people know it, surprisingly. And I think, based on those two factors, that's what's going to ultimately grow the fan base around it, because at this point, if Hunter x Hunter's manga comes back, which it is, and the anime comes out this year with the English dub, I feel like people will be forced to actually finally check it out now, because now you have no excuse not to watch it. Because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't like watching subbed anime, whatever. You know, people have their own preferences. But now I feel like that's coming out. You know, you're gonna get cornered, and you're gonna want to check it out to see what the hype is all about.
Like, it's always been like an anime with like great powers, like unique. Like if CC2 were to do it, like you said, it will have like a lot of unique stuff with it, like the cutscenes, the visuals look amazing, the quick time events will look amazing in the game.
Beautiful.
Like, I
imagine
can really
this, imagine this playing the story mode of Heaven's Arena. If CC2 made it, imagine the story mode of Gon versus Hisoka. Small spoiler, that fight does happen.
Oh my God.
But imagine how beautiful it will be with the quick time events and just overall visuals. Like, that would be so badass.
Like I just rewatched that fight today. Like as you were saying that, I saw that fight today, and the way he was using the thing that looked like gum like on his face, that was dope. That was cool.
Have you watched?
Like you said, like
have you watched that fight in the 1999 version?
No, I haven't really touched the 99 version.
Go
like,
back,
is it good?
Go back and rewatch the 1999 version because the fight is a lot longer. In my opinion, it's a lot actually more epic. I mean, the animation isn't that great because it's old, it was hand-drawn as opposed to how they do it today. But the fight was very epic, so I would rewatch that in the 1999 version.
That's something I gotta really look into, and something that I would most likely watch, because Hunter x Hunter's always been that one anime that everyone's been wanting a game for it. So in terms of sales, I think it will do well. What do you think about if they were to make a game in terms of sales? Like,
if it would sell?
Yeah, would you think it would sell well?
I don't think it would sell that well. It's weird. And I was thinking about this the other day. I tweeted, you know, I want more Hunter x Hunter merch, but I feel like because there's not enough merch, there's not enough demand for merch, even though I feel like a lot of us want merch, but for some reason we're not getting it. I mean, it's only been a handful of figures, a handful of statues. They really don't put out that much merch. And my only theory I can think about is because it doesn't sell that well. I mean, Dragon Ball has merch for everything. I mean, you get to the point where they will literally put characters and transformations into the show just so they can make that figure and sell it. Whereas with Hunter x Hunter, I feel like, I mean, the manga sold a lot. It's like, I think in like the top 20 best selling manga of all time. But I feel like when it comes down to merch, it doesn't do as well. With that said, same thing goes with the games. If this game was to come out, I don't see it selling that much, which is the big challenge for a developer who want to commit a lot of time and money into it, which is why the game probably wouldn't be that great. However, like I said, if the Hunter x Hunter fandom really takes over on a global scale as opposed to just Japan, it could sell really well. Because I feel like as a Hunter x Hunter fan, you're very loyal. There's not that many of us as compared to Dragon Ball Z, but we are loyal and we will buy everything we see when it comes down to it.
Right. But okay, I got another question. So, what would you prefer? Like, what format would fit? 2D or 3D? Like, what format would fit the style of Hunter x Hunter?
I've been spoiled. I want to say 3D, and that's just because I've been playing ever since Tenkaichi 2. Like, the 3D arena style fighters has always been a favorite of mine. I mean, I love the 2D. Like, you know, I love Burst Limit, for example. But when it comes down to it, I just feel more free. Like, I feel like the 3D games just recreate the battles much better because, like, you can run around. You don't feel like you're just locked in one position. Which is funny because Pokken right now has both. It literally switches between the 3D field to the 2D field, and it does that really well. For all, you know what? They could even do that. But ultimately, if I had to pick one, I'd say 3D, just because it feels more free. It feels more free.
So, what would be the perfect skill gap like within the game? So, if you were going to compare it to a game, what skill gap should Hunter x Hunter have? Like,
honestly, Hunter x Hunter, since that isn't like Dragon Ball Z, where it's like super fast flying and all that stuff, I could see it on the same level as Naruto, honestly. Because, I mean, all you really need is, and I would not do like a substitution system. I want to go back to the system where you have to press, you know, like L1, R1 right before you get hit to dodge. Like, I would see that come back as opposed to just, like how we have stamina on Xehanort, so you just pop the button in and you disappear. I want to see them bring that back. If you have some kind of like counter system, then, you know, ooh. Oh my gosh, actually I just had an idea. Okay, do you remember in the anime when they were in Greed Island when Bisky was training Gon and Killua to use their Nen and block basically? It's like, hey, if you put 50% of your Nen into your left arm, then you gotta put 50% of your Nen in your right arm to block it. Like, what if they have a system where you actually have to kind of control how much Nen and output you put to block attacks? So it's like if you block too hard, you do damage to your opponents. If you block too little, you take damage, but you do less damage. They could do something like that. Now, that can get very, very complex and hard to learn, but again, we want games that aren't that easy to master. Like we want to be able to like pick up a game, play it, understand the basics, but then also get good at it. So if they have some kind of counter system, like during that fight against Gon and Killua when Bisky was training, I would love to see some kind of counter system with that. So snap vanishing and countering. That game needs to be all about that. Because the thing about Nen is it's so unique and crazy that based on how you use it, it can either, you know, you can be basically invincible or completely wide open and get knocked out in one punch. So they have a lot of room to grow there in how a game can work with that system.
Like, as you said that, like, that just thought, like, the way you said how Nen should work like that, like, focusing it on certain positions so you can take less damage. That would actually be a cool, like, I know this is kind of off topic, and that would actually be cool to implement in Burning Blood. I know Spike they're not going to do this, but that would actually be cool, and it would actually work with the way Haki works. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So what else? Is that it? I think that's pretty much all I got to ask you. Like, thank you for actually being here, Rhymestyle.
Of course, this is a fun one. The second you said talk about Hunter x Hunter as a game, fuck yeah, I'm here.
I was asking so many people. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know that many people that know a lot about Hunter x Hunter that would want a Hunter x Hunter game. Then I saw you make a video about how they should get a game with the whole Koei Tecmo like sort of poll thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me hit this guy up. I'm not sure if he's gonna be available because you know he might be busy. Then when you said, oh, I was like, oh shit, bro.
Yeah. Well, one more thing I want to toss out there is Hunter x Hunter doesn't necessarily also have to be a fighting game. Originally, when Koei Tecmo did that poll, the company that made that game or wants to make a game, they have done a lot of RPG games in the past, and Hunter x Hunter also could be a really great RPG game because again, the thing that makes that game or story so beautiful is the story. It's not just about, you know, the fights, because if you look at it, there's not that many fights that happens in that series. I mean, there's a bunch of them, and when it happens, it's pretty badass, but they're really, really quick. It's not about the fights. So something else that could work really, really well, and this is just my opinion, of course, is if they take Hunter x Hunter and turn to a JRPG, where it's kind of Kingdom Hearts in terms of like gameplay and stuff, where you just kind of run around, you know, you can attack freely, and then you actually live the journey of Gon and Killua. Like, I would also love that as well. I would put hours and hours into that game.
So, say if they made a Hunter x Hunter game that was in the format of what was I gonna say? Format. You know how like wait, what's the Unreal Engine? How is that free? Would you like a game like that? Like, is that free? Like to a certain extent.
Unreal Engine? Yeah, it could work really well. I mean, I don't think they would because they haven't really ever before. I think one of the DBZ games was made in the Unreal Engine. From what I might be wrong though, but yeah, I would want that. I would want that.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. So, guys, if you don't know who Rhymestyle is, I generally don't know what you're doing with your life. I don't know what you're doing because this guy is like one of the main people that like he inspired me to make content myself. And yeah, I'm really happy that he's in this video. And yeah, let me just wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please leave a like rating if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll catch you next one, guys. Bye.